Morning, everyone, and welcome to the November 1st, 2025 sitting of the Vehicle for Hire Appeal Board. I am Dean Scaletta, and I am the chair of the board, and I'll ask my two co-panelists to introduce themselves.
I'm Adela DeLauro, chair.
Okay.
Amanda Kozak here.
Mr. Clerk.
And I'm Peter Prinsloo. I'm the senior committee clerk for this committee with the City Clerk's Department.
Grant Heather, I'm the manager of Vehicles for Hire for the City of Winnipeg.
John Burney, I'm licensing coordinator for Vehicles for Hire.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. So we'll just need a couple of quick motions. The first one being that we need a motion to allow Ms. Kozak and DeLauro to participate remotely today.
Can I get a mover and a seconder, please?
I move that we be allowed to participate remotely today.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
All right, so that's carried. And then just a motion to adopt the minutes from the April 29th meeting as well.
Ms. Kozak, you'll move.
I will move.
Ms. DeLauro,
I second.
all in favor?
That is carried as well. All right. So just a quick overview of the process. So the process the appeal board will follow is the Winnipeg Public Service will provide an explanation of their decision and may address questions asked by the appeal board. Next, the appellant makes representation regarding the appeal and answers any questions raised by the appeal board. The Winnipeg Public Service may address comments made and questions asked by the appellant and the appeal board. Finally, the appellant may return to speak in rebuttal to comments made. However, no new information is permitted. Please note that when your name is called, it is your opportunity to speak. However, you are not obligated to do so. As information, all appeal hearings are recorded, and any submissions made to the appeal board will become part of the public record. Item 1 is an appeal under the Vehicles for Hire bylaw number 129 of 2017 regarding license number VFHV-00605. So at this time, we'll hand it over to the public service to give us an overview on the matter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clerk. Good morning, Chair, appeal board members. The first appeal that we are hearing today is VFHV-00605, taxi ID 527. It's an accessible taxi. And this business license should have been renewed by August 31, 2025. So after September 1, 2025, it no longer holds a valid license, is no longer able to operate. Licenses are in place for 1 year. Just some chronology here of what's transpired. June 27, 2025, Vehicles for Hire office sent a renewal reminder letter to the license holder. This is standard practice that we would send it out well in advance of the renewal date to ensure that the proper time is given so that the license holder is able to get the a safety completed, Manitoba Public Insurance garage safety, and required taximeter and camera confirmation checks that are provided to our office. And then on September 2nd, so the license expired August 31st. On September 2nd, an email was sent from Vehicles for Hire to the dispatcher confirming that the license had not been renewed and that the vehicle could not operate. This would be standard. I believe this September 1st was a weekend, so it would be the first business day after. September 4th, we received an email from the dispatcher indicating that the vehicle was being repaired due to an accident in August, but we provided no documentation at that time related to it. And as we received no documentation related to that, we proceeded to allow the 30 days as required under section 70-2 of the Vehicle for Hire bylaw, which states that a taxi license issued under this bylaw does not terminate until 30 days after its expiry date, but the license holder is subject to a late payment fee if the license is not renewed prior to its expiry. Beyond 30 days, section 70-1 comes into play, which says that subject to subsection 2, unless renewed prior to the date of its expiry, a license issued under this bylaw terminates on its expiry date. As we pass the 30 days, September 30th, on October 9th, we issued a license cancellation letter to the owner of the license, indicating that the city was moving to cancel the license due to failure to renew. And that would be the extent of what we have for information.
Any questions, Ms. Kozak?
None at this time.
Delaro?
And I have no questions at this time. Thank you.
I have one or two. So if I'm understanding it correctly, the a license that expires effective September 1st, the operator essentially is given a grace period of about 30 days to meet the requirements of renewal. Is that correct?
That's correct. They're still not able to operate. They
can't operate.
They can't operate. They're effectively suspended. But they do have a 30-day period before the city's in a position to cancel that license, where they can, provide us documentation related to it being an MPI write-off or in a shop. Usually we look for a letter or a letter from the shop, or some form of outstanding safety where maybe they're waiting for parts and an indication. We're looking for documentation to the extent of why the appeal or why the license wasn't renewed. And so they have a 30-day window where they're considered late, but still have the opportunity to renew their license before we're in a position to act on it.
Okay, so then prior to day 30, their remedy is to pay a late fee and get their license renewed?
Yeah.
And after the 30 days, their license is canceled, and then they are.
No, so after the 30 days, and then it's 30 days, and then we usually give a few days of grace period, simply to handle weekends and whatever there. We send them a license cancellation letter, which is in your package, notifying them that they are late. They should have been renewed by the 1st. And now that the city's in a position to cancel their license, and then we basically cancel their license effective the date of the letter, and then they have the 14-day window to appeal it before it becomes official. That's why we're here.
Okay, so I'm understanding it, then the license in this case has been canceled. So the notice of appeal doesn't operate as a stay.
It doesn't operate as a stay. It's canceled unless pending the decision of the appeal board here. Yeah.
And then they're required to go through the normal registration process.
Correct. If the will of the appeal board is to overturn that, they would still be required to pay the document or give us the documentation that's required, pay their licensing fee as well as late fee, and then they would be reinstated effective September 1st. So their year, every license is on a 1-year basis, and they're all done in groupings so that we do approximately 50 business licenses each month. So they happens throughout the year just to spread out that. So it's always September. It doesn't suddenly become November 1st or
for this
something.
particular
Vehicle. Yeah.
Any questions arising out of that from the panel?
I don't have any.
None for me.
So now we will hear from the applicant.
That's right. So we'll call up Mr. Hussein Gebra Mikhail. If you would like to come grab a seat at the end of the table there, and you'll have 5 minutes to make your presentation. Whenever you're ready.
Yes, sir. The floor is yours.
Yes, my name is Dersan Gabra Michael. I'm the owner of the taxi 527. So my car got accident on the day of August 11, 2025. So I emailed by myself as a owner at August 22. I told to the city, my car is in accident, so I can't do anything this time. I can make it until the end of this month, I told them. So they told me, I have to go to the car repair, like how many months they will take them. Because of that car had a problem with the engine, they don't know how many months they will take them to fix it. So I didn't have any other choice. But now after they finish everything, I have a letter, I have the claim number, I have the person who take care of the car from MPI. So that's what happened. I don't mean to late, but accident happened. The problem also is not only the body, it's the engine. I don't think so. They got on the time. So that's why they take time. So they finished the car from the repair. She's out on October 15. So until the October 15, through August 11, from August 11 until October 15, she has been at the garage. That's why I'm late.
Okay, I understand that you weren't able to operate the vehicle during that time because it was being repaired. I get that part of it. But what's not clear to me is why you wouldn't deal with the renewal of your license. What it's supposed to be.
Renewal means the safety of the car.
I beg your pardon?
I don't
Sorry, sir, can
understand
you
which-
speak into the mic? So I'm having a little bit of difficulty
Oh.
hearing you. Thank you.
Okay. So I don't know what is the renewal you mean. I go that time when she got accident, I go to vehicle for hire. They told me I have to finish all the papers with the safety, then I can renew. But I have been over there.
Okay, to renew.
Yeah, I go there. They asking me for the safety papers, everything.
Okay, so I think what you're telling me is that until October 15th, you couldn't get a safety and therefore you couldn't renew. Is that correct? Is that what you're telling me?
After October 15, the car is going out from the garage. Then I took to another person who making the vehicle for hire for safety. So maybe at 17th of October, something she's safety already. I have all the documents here when she's safety.
All right. And have you since submitted that to the vehicle for hire office?
I have been that day I have been when she's safety, right away I go to the city.
Anything more that you wanted to add?
Nothing. I just say, like sorry, like to vehicle for hire. I didn't make it on the time, It never happened before, but this is the accident that happened, like everything is going, like miserable. But all I have right now is because of that accident, I have all the MPI claim number and the person who take care of that car and also the garage paper, everything. I have all the documents here. So what can I say to city? Sorry, I didn't make it on the time because of that accident only.
Any questions, Mr. Laura?
When you said that you notified the city, do you mean you notified vehicles for hire when the accident, you said by email, was in on August 22? You notified them that the vehicle was in an accident?
Yes, as an owner, I texted them through vehicle for hire. I emailed them. My car is in accident. I can't make it at that date. I emailed him. He told me when did the car finish from the garage? He asked him. I am going to the garage. The garage told me they don't know nothing because not body problems, down engine problems. So maybe he say he take maybe 1 month, 2 months. So I didn't have any other choice. I just email him, like, I don't think so, like until November 15, he can finish. He just gave me the guess, the owner of the shop. I just guess, like my guess, I texted them, oh, maybe she will stay in that garage until November 15. I have an email in my phone, everything, yes.
Okay, and so then you were able to get the car out of October 15th.
Yes.
And at that time, then you went to get the safety to be able to renew, correct?
So, do we have any of this material that he's referring to? Is this the first one?
This is, yeah, whatever has been submitted either by the public service or the appellant has been shared with the committee.
So was it a van that you were driving?
Yeah, it's a van,
A van.
a handicap, yes.
Ms. Kozak, any questions?
No questions.
Are there any response to this submission?
We have to close representations.
Nope, not at this time.
No, okay. Just to confirm, what we did have communication with Mr. Gibber Michael on the 22nd, where he did indicate to us that it was was being dealt with at MPI due to an accident. Our response to him was that there was a phone call also with our staff who indicated that we, in order to proceed with an extension, we would need some form of documentation from MPI or the garage showing an expected timeline, parts on order, MPI paperwork, anything like that. It's standard practice in our office just to not take everything at face value, that we need the backup to do that in order to make sure that we're following the bylaw. We received an email back on the 25th of April indicating that the expected, August, my correction, indicating that the expected date was November 15th, but received no documentation to that extent. Which is why we're here. We would have, in a normal course, had we received documentation indicating that it was an MPI write-off or severe loss and it was going to take time, our standard practice would be to extend that to such and such a date and then review based upon where we're at.
And if you had done that, there would have been no late fee, is that correct?
Case by case basis sometimes, but generally if we're in a position where there's frequent communication and it's kind of out of the control of the license holder, typically we would not have a late fee in that case, or we would at least review the late fee potentially.
Okay, and the panel received a package of material yesterday, various documents, there's photos, there's various MPI documents. Is this materials now sufficient for the applicant to apply to have their license reinstated?
We have that. We haven't received that.
I believe those were for different appeals.
Oh, okay, so do we have any of the material that he sent?
No.
Or that he has?
No.
So I'm sorry, sir, we're at a bit of a disadvantage in that you mentioned that you have a lot of this material, but none of us here have seen it. So, so as I said, we're at a bit of a disadvantage. But having said that, any questions of Mr. Grant, or sorry, Mr. Heather from the panel?
I just wanted to touch on one of the comments you made. Did he receive notification that he needed to submit those documents via writing, or was that something that was communicated to him by the phone only?
No, it was via email. We'll typically follow up phone calls and discussions with an email to document it also for both sides. And on the 22nd of August at 11:08 a.m., our licensing clerk basically said, as we discussed over the phone, we would like to know when you plan to add a new vehicle, or if the vehicle is a total loss, or if you're using the same vehicle after it's being repaired. For the extension, we require the proof from either MPI or the auto body shop.
that you didn't receive.
We did not receive that.
Any other questions, Mr. Lauro?
I have no other questions.
Thank you. Yeah, sir, you have one more opportunity to respond to what you've just heard. Can you don't have to say anything, but you're welcome to respond.
I just say thank you, like you guys have, you gave me that opportunity today, like, what can I say? The accident, it happened, like everything mess. And also I can't control everything, like I asked the garage, he didn't give me the paper. He said he's not sure. That's why I'm late. I don't mean to late it. So thank you very much. You gave me that opportunity, like I just asking, like I need just my vehicle come back to the road.
All right, thank you.
Please, and thank you.
So we now close submissions for the meeting motion.
We do, yes. We'll need a motion that the receipt of public representations be concluded.
Ms. Kozak? You'll make
I
that
will move.
And I second?
in favor? Harry?
Right, and then we'll need a motion that the Vehicles for Hire Appeal Board enter private deliberations.
Mr. Lauro?
I move.
I will second.
Harry?
All right, so at this time, if we can ask everybody in the gallery here, including the public service, to please exit the room. The board will talk amongst themselves, and when we're ready to share the decision, we'll invite everybody back in. Thank you.
Thank you. The board has come to a decision. We are cognizant of the fact that the applicant has been unable to drive for a living for approximately 3 months now. And we are advised by him that he has all of the necessary documentation to support his application for a reinstatement of his license. Although we have not seen it, we're accepting that assertion at face value. We think in the circumstances that had he done this on an earlier occasion when he had all the materials, he would not have incurred a late fee. So for that reason, the board has decided to allow the appeal with some conditions, and I'll have the clerk read the motion now.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. The motion is that the appeal be allowed and the notice dated October 9th, 2025, issued by the manager of Vehicles for Hire, Winnipeg Parking Authority regarding provisions of the Vehicle for Hire bylaw number 129 of 2017 for license number VFHV-00605 be canceled subject to the following condition. And the condition is that the late fee be waived subject to the renewal of the license by December 31st of 2025. So I just need
Ms.
a,
Kozak, will you move that motion?
I will move.
All in favor? Carried.
and then I just need a motion to, that the appeal hearing be concluded.
I move.
All in favor? The hearing is concluded.
All right.
So, sir, you'll, Mr. Heather will, or his staff will speak to you later. And, time being necessary
For renewal?
to meet with him. See
Oh,
what he has.
if he was to take it in today, yeah, if you were to take it into 495 Portage Avenue today, our clerks will probably be in a position to process it. It'll probably be early next week when it's finally approved, but yeah. So I can wait that in Monday or something. Yeah, if you can't go today, you can take it on Monday.
Go right now.
Yeah.
Like if everything is fine, I don't care.
Yeah, it's just it's just a matter of processing it and then getting all the documentation out to you and stuff like that.
But I'm good to go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Yep, the Vehicle for Hire Appeal Board has allowed the appeal. Please visit the Winnipeg Parking Authority Vehicles for Hire office in order to complete your license renewal.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, and then we'll move on to the next one.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Item 2 is an appeal under the Vehicles for Hire bylaw number 129 of 2017 regarding license number VFHV -00579. And so we'll hand it over to our public service to give us an overview on the matter.
All right, much the same, a fair bit of this information will be the same as the first one as we follow the same process. June 27th, the renewal letter was sent out. A renewal reminder letter was also sent July 25th. And then August 19, in our course of typically working with the dispatchers also, reminder email was sent to the dispatcher, Unicity Taxi, for this license. And August 29th, an extension request was received indicating that the vehicle had been involved in an accident in January 2025 and had not yet been repaired. The extension at that time, a decision was made to deny it due to non-extenuating circumstances. There had been plenty of time, in our opinion, to have it repaired. August 31, the license expired. September 9th, an email was sent to the dispatcher confirming the license was not renewed and the vehicle cannot operate. On September 19, Mr. Burney spoke with Mr. Gill, who indicated that the vehicle had been in an accident, was estimated as a total loss, and appealed to have the vehicle repaired. No documentation received at that time? No documentation had been received. To that extent, October 7th, that a cancellation letter had been sent, which is in your package. October 8th, we received an email confirming the MPI claim had not yet been approved at that time. And then October 9th, we received or sent an email to the license holder confirming that that an appeal would need to be submitted on this. It seems like we're dealing with two separate MPI claims, potentially, one that began in January and then a second one that happened after the fact. Would that be?
I believe so.
Yeah.
The situation was a little bit confusing. The original accident happened very early in the year, January. And from my understanding, there was a lot of back and forth on that appeal, or that claim on whether or not it was going to be a total loss or whether or not it was going to be repairable. Unfortunately, all of that back and forth, the vehicle had not been repaired in time for the license to be renewed. Request for extension had come through, but no supporting evidence was ever provided. And then unfortunately, it was just taking longer than our 30 days.
And we have new material in this matter.
I believe that a package was submitted to clerks.
Yes, it was emailed to you yesterday, and it's included
Yeah.
there as well.
So is it 00497?
579.
So we have a paper package.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one that starts with a Shaw webmail document. That's the one there.
I will just before you, as you're starting to look through the evidence, I will also note that this license was appealed in 2023 also. So this is now the second time in 2 years that we're dealing with this license for failure to renew on time.
So there's a proof of loss for an accident January 26, 2005. And I saw another one from 27. The 23rd. Yeah, I'm seeing this, it's called page one in the material. I don't see it in the paper packet. But, in the in the PDF package, it's the second of 13 pages. It shows the date of loss as March 23rd. Unless there's something else I'm supposed to be. Wait a minute. Okay, I see. Sorry, I'm in the wrong package. Okay, so we only have evidence of the one accident. You mentioned that there was a second accident.
Yeah, we received an email at the end of August indicating that taxi 502 had been involved in an accident. I was just reading that, sorry. Yeah.
But one.
No, August 29. Sorry. There's the other one. Yeah. Yeah. August 29th, we received an email indicating that the taxi had been in an accident on January 26, 2025, that it was still not resolved, and that MPI was going back and forth between saying it was repairable and a total loss.
I guess my concern is that we see a signed automobile proof of loss that's dated July 2nd.
Yep.
So doesn't that conclude the fact?
None of that was provided to us.
There's also, I guess there's in the package that there's a letter. It's a little bit confusing, and you may have more knowledge than all of us, Dean. That it says right at the end, I noticed that it said that they're returning the proof of loss because MPI can't substantiate the valuation, and that was on September 18th.
Yeah, I see that. I suspect that's because if you go to the very beginning of the package, Ms. Wall says that it appears that some of the damages were pre-existing.
Right.
Or if not pre-existing, unrelated.
Unrelated, yeah.
Unrelated to this.
Yeah, so I think it's a case, in this case, again, it's a case of us not being provided with documentation when we've requested it. Time running out on us. We don't chase. We do send a number of reminders. We probably do more reminders than we need to, but in the course of business, we've just found that it's beneficial to try to remind folks to take care of what they need to.
Oh, any questions of Mr. Heather?
I have no questions.
Ms. Kozak?
Can you just remind me the year that the previous renewal was missed?
That was 2023. As I said before, we do these on a monthly basis, and so we started that in the fall of 2022, I believe. And so 2022, 2023 was the first full year of doing that. We had a handful of appeals then, and since then, they've been on the same monthly cycle that they started in then. So it's always the same time for each vehicle.
Okay, I guess we can hear from the applicant.
Yes, so we'll call up Mr. Navdev Gill. Sir, if you want to grab a seat at the end of the table there, that'd be great. Thank you. Okay, please grab a seat.
All that, this is Dad.
Okay, sir, the floor is yours.
Okay, what happened? The accident happened on the 26th of January around possibly 1:30 a.m. And then the driver drove the vehicle back to our shop. And we tried to get it back on the road by Monday because it was weekend. And we did the temporary repair on the front bumper so that he can drive. But as soon as we pull it out of the shop, there was some noise on the right front tire. So when we take a look, the shocks were broken, the springs. So we told the driver that he cannot drive. And after that, we did talk to MPI. And what happened when they were working on it, they pulled out one of the old claim files, which was, I sent a picture of that one too. There is maybe 3 pictures or something. And they said that vehicle was not repaired before, which is not true. So that's the picture number 1, this one here. And that accident happened in December 21, but it went to MPI on January 4th, 2022. And after that, the vehicle was repaired. It went through body integrity and the safety. And around June 15 or 16, the vehicle came back on the road as taxi number 502.
Is that in 2023?
Yeah.
Because this collision, the
That first collision,
date stamp
the
was
one they
April
are-
1st, 2022.
No, that one was in December 23rd or December 24th, 2021. That's when that accident happened. But it was not taxi ID 502. It was a different number. I believe it was 512 at that time.
Okay.
And MPI got mixed up with that one. And then they wouldn't give us the claim, and they took their time. And the date was, I believe, in March when they did the estimate. And then they won't include the bumper and the other stuff because when the accident happened, it shows on the pictures there. See, that's the second picture when it was pushed into a snowbank and the front bumper was broken again. And it was a new bumper. And they won't accept it. So we had big argument about that. So finally they said, okay.
Hey, sorry, can I stop you? Just said the second photo that you held up
Yeah,
showing the bumper almost falling off the vehicle.
yeah, that's what happened on the
What
20th.
collision does that relate to?
That's the one on 26th of January.
Okay.
Yeah. And the third one shows when it was hit by this SUV and pushed into a snowbank.
This is the other vehicle.
No, the same vehicle. Like this is the vehicle that hit the taxi.
That's what I said, the other vehicle.
Yeah, this is the other vehicle. The taxi is on the back side. You can see the condition there on the back side.
Okay, I'm not sure why that matters, but okay, thank you.
Yeah. And after this, dealing with MPI, the first adjuster, he sent his quotation. Where is this one? This is the printout I got from the repair shop when the adjuster said they can repair it up to 6,600. And then a short time later, he sent another message that they can repair it up to 12,000 something. And then the third message he sends again for 6,000 something. So they keep changing their mind. And finally, one adjuster, I believe his name was Mr. Rahman or something, the write-off adjuster, he said the vehicle is a write-off. I said, okay, then send me the proof of loss. He sent me one, so I sent it back to him. And then Judy Wall, she got hold of me and she said he moved to a different department. And then she sent me another one and I fill it out and they were offering, I believe, 5,000 something or 6,000 something. But I told them no. I said it's an accessible taxi. The ramp alone cost about $34,000 to $38,000, and I even have the quotation for the ramp too. So finally, she changed her mind again. She said, "No, it's not a write-off. We are going to repair it." So finally, it has been done. The safety is done on the vehicle, and it's ready to go back on the road. And the insurance was never canceled since the accident. And the safety was done last week.
Yes, we don't have that, sir.
No, I just picked it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was just, so we're Friday. Was it this week or last week?
I just picked up this week. That was done on the 13th of November.
So last Thursday.
Yeah.
Any questions, Ms. Delaro?
I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Ms. Kozak?
The initial accident, was that an at-fault accident or was that due to a second party?
That was the second party's fault.
Thank you.
Yeah, he hit the vehicle from behind on the right-hand side, and they had to replace the whole quarter panel.
Thank you.
No, I think the chronology is very hard to follow, and I think the lack of clarity and lack of documented information is basically why we landed why we're here.
What was, when did you get this material? We have a package of 16 pages that the.
We only got this today.
This morning.
We got this morning.
Yeah.
We never received any of this information prior to. So we had an email indicating that there was an accident in January. I'd had a phone conversation with the owner and he indicated that he, even as of September, was still not completed his MPI claim to either repair or total loss. I had asked for information regarding the accident, regarding if they were able to even provide a safety that's not passed, but at least indicating what needs to be repaired. That wasn't provided. All of the emails indicated in this package are from after my conversation with the owner.
Which was what they.
My last conversation with the owner was on September 19th. And then October 9th, indicating a letter from, sorry, looking at the wrong ones. Received on October 8th, received an email that the MPI claim had not been approved. Yeah, that was the last communication that we had received.
Ms. Kozak, any questions arising out of that?
What's that?
Ms. Delaro?
I have none. Thank you.
Sir, did you have any final comments to make?
I have one comment. If it can be addressed to the MPI. When they look at these vehicles, they don't know the value of these accessible taxis. They only look at it as a regular van, not as an accessible vehicle. That's why they quote the price $6,000, $7,000 when they're trying to write it off. But in actual value, it could be about $40,000 to $60,000 depending upon the year and the make and model of the vehicle. And the cost of the ramp alone is anywhere from 34,000 to 38,000 just to replace the ramp. And that's what something MPI does not know.
Thank you, sir. Any questions arising out of that from the panel?
I have no questions.
No question.
That's right.
So I need a motion concluding the public representations. Ms. Kodak,
I will move.
favor? Thank you. Thank you, sir. You can have a seat over there.
Okay, thank you.
And we'll need a motion to enter private deliberations, if that's the will.
I move to enter private deliberations.
Thank you. Okay, all in favor?
All right, similarly to before, if everyone in the gallery can please take a step outside and we'll invite you back in when we're ready.
It's true. It's funny because it's true. It's already.
Okay, the board has had an opportunity to consider the matter. And we're talking about the appeal relating to taxi business license BFHV 00579, taxi identification number 502, and the notice of cancellation that was issued on October 7th, 2025. The board has considered the matter and finds that at the time the notice of cancellation was issued, the vehicle for hire office was not in possession of any of the materials that it needed to reinstate the license, and therefore the cancellation was appropriate at that time, and the appeal is therefore denied.
So the motion would be that the appeal be denied and the notice dated October 7th, 2025, issued by the manager of Vehicles for Hire, Winnipeg Parking Authority regarding provisions of the Vehicle for Hire bylaw number 129 of 2017 for license number VFHV-00579 be confirmed.
Ms. Kozak, we will move.
I will move.
I would just add, sir, that it appears that you have the material you require to apply for reinstatement, and I would encourage you to do that at your earliest convenience.
And then we'll just need a motion that the appeal hearing be concluded.
I move.
In favor?
All right. Please note that the Vehicle for Hire Appeal Board has denied your appeal as per section 68(4) of the Vehicle for Hire bylaw number 129 of 2017. Decisions by this board is final and no appeal may be taken in respect of the decision. All right, and then our last appeal today, item 3, is an appeal under Vehicles for Hire bylaw number 129 of 2017 regarding license number VFHV-00497. And once again, we'll hand it over to the public service.
All right. So in this case, let me just flip here. In this case, a little bit different timeline. It's a little bit earlier in the year. Renewal reminders were sent out April 25th. For VFHV 00497, taxi ID 434, with a expiry date of June 30, 2025. On June 16, a reminder email of outstanding license renewals was sent to the dispatcher. And then on June 30th, the license expired. July 9th, an email was sent to the dispatcher confirming the license was not renewed and that the vehicle cannot operate. At that time, the dispatcher confirmed to our office that the owner was out of the country. We then sent a cancellation letter October 7th. We'd given a bit of extra time here, given that the owner was out of the country. And then it was delivered to the owner's address. And then October 16, we received a email from Mr. Jawanda explaining that the taxi was leased to an individual who had left the country and that there was issues finding that person and that they had not taken care of it and that he was looking to take care of it, looking to take care of the license at that time. At this point, the cancellation letter had already been generated on the 7th. And at that point, we're no longer in a position to deal with the license. We have to go through the appeal process. He had indicated, you can just slide up there on the date. No. Okay. October 10th, our office received a email, or I received an email indicating that the person that the vehicle had been leased out to, did we have a power of attorney on file?
No.
Although we did not have a power of attorney on file for this, indicated that the person who had leased out to had left the country and defaulted on conditions of the lease, including to handle the renewal and license. That Mr. Jawanda had hired a lawyer to serve notices which were affected by the Canada Post strike disruption, as well as tracking this person down. I will say it's not uncommon in the industry to have vehicles leased out to other people because of transferability or non-transferability of licenses, depending on what condition they carry. Vehicles are often leased out, and typically those leases will include a power of attorney, which the owner will empower the leasee to be able to handle day-to-day operational things, including working with our office for renewals or other items, working with MPI should there be accidents, basically allowing them to operate as any business would allow to operate. Typically, those are filed with our office so that we know who we're dealing with. Otherwise, we won't deal with anybody but the license holder in the course of business. So, as I said, that wasn't on file in this case, but may exist. A separate lease agreement with limited powers may exist also. And I'll obviously let Mr. Jawanda speak to that. Again, in this case, it's a case of, we would deal with Mr. Jawanda because there's no power of attorney on place. And so we were, sending notifications to what we had for an address, which is what's required under the bylaw. And only found out after the decision letter or after the cancellation letter had been sent that there was these circumstances revolving around a potential third party who was supposed to have taken care of this. I think that's what I have.
In the package that I got, pages 12 and 13 look like they're a power of attorney from Mr. Jawanda to Mr. Gill, dated June 14th, 2024. And I take it you didn't receive that until recently?
We have yet to receive it.
This is us receiving it now.
That's right. First
time we've seen this on file. I mean, there's no obligation for a license holder to give us the power of attorney, but without a power of attorney, we'll only deal with the license holder or license holders if there's multiple. I mean, there's obviously privacy rules and such that come into play. So we'll only provide information to a license holder or in the case of, say, a lawyer or based on a court order, something like that. But without that power of attorney, we would not have communicated with anybody but the license holder in this case, Mr. Jawanda.
Any questions of Mr. Heather, Mr. Laurel?
I have no questions. Thank you.
I have no question.
Ms. Kozak, any questions?
Nope, not at this time.
Okay. So I guess we'll now hear from the applicant.
That's right. If Mr. Jawanda would like to grab a seat there, then we'll put 5 minutes on the clock for you. Whenever you're ready.
Honorable Chairperson and executive members of Appeal Board, good morning. I'm Rajendra Jawanda and here for license number BFHV 00497, operating as 434 TID with the Duffy's Taxi since 2018 as a standard taxi. As my wife not keeping good health and suffering from breast cancer, I prefer to lease taxi to Kamalpreet Singh Gill, who was driving it with the fact June 2022 to June 2027, the date it was to expire. All documents were legal through lawyers, and power of attorney was also provided to complete any documentation for smooth operation of taxi. The driver Kamalpreet Singh Gill left to India in October 2024 as he did not inform me. I came to know in April 2025 when taxi was in accident and it got total loss, and I have submitted the document for total loss. I sent him messages and email to know when he is returning and to put new cab and to renew taxi permit, but he just made excuses and did not return. And also finally, to avoid facing any legal consequences, later provided him legal notice through my attorney. A copy of that is attached, which he never responded. To be honest, was not aware that taxi license will be cancelled after 90 days after June 30, 2025 deadline. Has been associated with taxis service since 2002 and has no complaint to date, even from city, public, or the companies I have operated with. Letter of support from Duffy's manager to support my clean outstanding record is also forwarded to the committee. Never in past been late to renew, but circumstances as mentioned got me to this situation. Because I have given him the authority to renew, he didn't show up, so it's my fault I apologize for that. I should have renewed it. But the question mark was, I was asking him to put on a cab and he never showed up here. Has spent huge sum to obtain Duffy's dispatch. It will be a big loss. Please, my humble request to reconsider decision to cancel and give me just one chance to return license. We'll start operating taxi as soon as possible.
So what are you asking for from this board? If the license has been canceled, you want to reinstate it?
Retain it, sir, if it's possible.
I guess you heard, you were sitting here, that there's process to be followed to have the license reinstated. You're familiar with that?
I beg your pardon, what it is?
Well, in order to reinstate a canceled license or even an expired license, you need to go through a certain process. You have to provide the vehicle for hire board with, for example, a safety inspection, and you have to pay certain fees and all of that. You're aware of all of that.
I will do everything, sir, if I'm given a chance.
Okay.
Everything within a very short period, sir.
I believe Mr. Jawanda communicated with me indicating he has everything ready to go, but I told him not to send it in until pending this hearing.
Okay. You agree with that, sir?
Pardon me, sir?
You agree with that, what Mr. Heather has just said? That you have all of the materials that you need to renew the license?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Heather, thank you, sir. Any response to any of that?
Thank you, sir.
I just that I believe that there was probably an expectation by Mr. Jawanda that his POA was going to take care of things, and reading the POA, this is a pretty standard one that we see in the industry to authorize the power of attorney to deal with MPI, deal with vehicle for hire and the city on the license, and that simply didn't happen, and so I to that extent I can't speak to the time delay in that, other than there appears to be documentation here that he was trying to reach the POA, or that the lawyer was, and such. So, yeah.
Sorry, I think I neglected to ask if the panel members had any questions of the applicant, Mr. Jawanda.
I have no questions.
I just wanted to know whether or not he had a driver lined up if he were to get his license renewed.
So, sir, if we can get you to come back and have a seat so the microphones can pick you up.
Interesting. He sent it to us.
The question, sir, was whether you have a driver available to operate the vehicle once it's licensed. You have someone to drive it?
I can arrange, sir. In the industry, drivers are available, sir.
Drivers are available.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions of Mr. Heather?
I have no questions.
Sir? No questions? Ms. Kozak?
No questions.
So we need a motion then to conclude.
Unless the appellant would like to say anything in rebuttal.
Sorry, sir, did you have anything further to add to what you've already told us?
Sir, I just.
Sir, please have a seat, sir.
So at this time, you can speak in rebuttal to anything that has been said, but no new information at this time.
The chairperson and executive members, please my humble request to reconsider to let me retain the license. I have no other source of livelihood. It will be big loss if it stands cancelled. This is only my request. I will do whatever as soon as possible. Even I will try operating it myself.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now we need a motion to close the public representations.
I move to close.
All in favor?
Decisions.
Private deliberations.
We need a motion for private deliberations. Ms. Kozak?
Ms. Kozak, if you can move a motion that the Vehicles for Hire Appeal Board enter private deliberations, please.
I move.
All in favor? Carried.
Perfect.
So the board has had an opportunity to consider the material and the submissions of the parties. We note a number of things. Number one is that the power of attorney in the material authorizes Mr. Gill to do certain things on behalf of Mr. Jawanda, including attending to the renewal of the applicable vehicle for hire license. It does not, however, impose exclusive obligation on Mr. Gill to do that. And as the registered owner of the vehicle, Mr. Jawanda at all times retained the obligation to either do those matters to maintain the registration or ensure that they were done. We also note that according to his own email, Mr. Jawanda has not had any communication or any meaningful communication with Mr. Gill since October of 2024, which is over a year ago. We also note that the documentation, the letters from the Winnipeg Parking Authority are all addressed to Mr. Jawanda as the registered owner. So while we are not without sympathy to his situation, particularly concerning the health of his wife and the apparent lack of response from Mr. Gill, the fact remains that when the vehicle license was canceled in October of this year, there was really nothing else the vehicle for hire office could have done in those circumstances. So we are therefore denying the appeal. We do, however, encourage Mr. Jawanda to work with the vehicle for hire office to get his vehicle reinstated as quickly as possible.
There's no way to do that.
Sorry?
Once the appeal is denied, there's the license is canceled, and there's a different mechanism to renew or for us to hand licenses out.
I've been advised that once the appeal is allowed, that he must reapply for a license. Correct?
And there's no mechanism like Mr. Jawanda would be put on a waiting list that's 1,000 people long. Yeah, so it's not basically once an appeal is denied here of the decision is made by the appeal board to support the cancellation. From our stance, our position is that the license is canceled. The city takes ownership of that license, and we would follow the procedures as laid out in the bylaw to hand them out, which is to look at a waiting list that we retain.
I'm going to ask that we adjourn for a few minutes just to consider this new information.
Us across the courtyard.
Okay, so we are back on. As a result of our discussion off the record, we have determined that the order that I cited was not the order that we intended to make, or at least it didn't have the effect that we intended. Our intention was to have the suspension lifted and to have Mr. Jawanda be encouraged to work with the vehicle for hire office to effect a renewal of his license at the earliest possible date. So I'll have the clerk then read the motion.
The motion would be that the appeal be allowed and the notice dated October 7th, 2025, issued by the manager of Vehicles for Hire, Winnipeg Parking Authority, regarding provisions of the Vehicle for Hire bylaw number 129 of 2017 for license number VFHV-00497 be cancelled.
Goes out to wish to move that.
I will move.
In favor?
And then a motion that this appeal hearing be concluded.
Ms. Delara, you move.
I move.
All in favor?
All right, and with all our items being concluded, this particular one, please note that the Vehicle for Hire Appeal Board has allowed the appeal. Please visit the Winnipeg Parking Authority Vehicles for Hire office in order to complete your license renewal. Thank you. And that concludes our agenda today. So I'll just need a motion to conclude our meeting.
Ms. Kozak?
I will move.
All in favor?
Thank you very much.
Thank you both.